Defend home. That's the objective for the defending champions. One Knoxville, who are literally defending the least allowed goals in USL League One, unbeaten in their last 6. For AV Alta, they're trying to salvage their Tennessee trip after tripping up at Chattanooga Red Wolves on Wednesday. One Knoxville playing host to AV Alta, and we welcome you to a muggy Knoxville, Tennessee, Covenant Health Park. I'm Ken Levicka, USL League One Saturday night series history. This is the third meeting all time between these two clubs. The first one in 2026. Last year, it was one Knoxville picking up a July victory and then a September triumph. That win sent AV Alta into a tailspin, completely cratered. In fact, only one victory the remaining 16 matches for AV Alta after losing to one Knoxville, going from above the playoff line to missing the postseason by a single point in the table. One Knoxville, they are following a similar blueprint to what led them to the double last year, the USL League One title and the Players' Shield. Last season, they had the third most goals scored in USL League One. They were the best defensive team in goals conceded. This season, they lead USL League One. Least goals conceded, and they come into tonight second in the league in goals scored. Extremely balanced, as you'd expect from the powerhouse that has become the consistent one Knoxville, looking to defend their championship. Short-handed is one Knoxville tonight. The discipline bug has hit. A red card in the last match for Dennis Kruchenkov of one Knoxville leading goal scorer. And so that's where Mikkel Guling comes in. He moves up from the midfield to the front line. 2 goals, 2 assists for Guling in this 2026 campaign. He has goal contributions in 3 of the last 4, and the Dane is going to be the attacking focal point at the 9 tonight for one Knoxville and manager Ian Fuller. AV Alta, extremely aggressive, fun attack to watch, but they are so vastly different away from Lancaster, California than when they are in the Golden Bear State. You look at AV Alta, and on the road, they have a -3 goal differential. They really struggle to find any sort of consistency. They have conceded 9 times to 6 goals. At home, 17 goals with 10 conceded. But here's the bright spot. AV Alta has still been able to grind out 8 points away, and that is good for tied 6th place in USL League One. You could certainly be in a worse spot they were last year when they finished 12th in that category. Jerry Desdoon, 8 goal contributions in the last 11 matches. 5 goals, 5 assists, and he is what makes this offense go. AV Alta going to make a couple of changes in the attack tonight as they try and break down the best defensive side, the most physical defensive side. There's a correlation with one Knoxville here tonight. One Knoxville, they are the top of the USL League One table. AV Alta, they're above the playoff line. Can they pick up a signature road victory? We'll find out next. One Knoxville, AV Alta, it's USL League One on ESPN+.
I would never go back to my previous provider.
If I had this sooner, I could have eliminated a lot of frustrations.
I don't have to hear, "Mom, the internet is not working."
If you don't have it, you'd be crazy not to switch.
At Zoom Drain, we fix drain and sewer problems fast. That's all we do. Clogged kitchen sink? Call Zoom Drain. Toilets overflowing? Call Zoom Drain. Ankle deep in the shower? Call Zoom Drain. Sewage in your yard? Call Zoom Drain. Water pooling outside? Call Zoom Drain. Strong sewer smell? Call Zoom Drain. When you have a clogged drain, call Zoom Drain. To get your life flowing today.
We've always been heads up about money, but sometimes life throws you a curve, like juggling college for our son and what it might take to help my dad if he needs it. He's always been there for us. Our region's Greenprint plan helped us feel more prepared for whatever comes next. And Mike went the extra mile for us with great advice. We feel like we've got this.
Extra confidence from Greenprint. Extra know-how from our people. Extra is our ordinary at Regions.
I would never go back to my previous provider.
If I had this sooner, I could have eliminated a lot of frustrations.
I don't have to hear, Mom, the internet is not working.
If you don't have it, you'd be crazy not to switch.
Both sides heading to the pitch. The procession underway. Covenant Health Park. 78 degrees in Knoxville, Tennessee on this Saturday night. But the humidity, it is sticky. 84% for those of you that are meteorologically inclined. Let's go through the KUB Fiber starting lineups. Fastest internet in the world, KUB Fiber, and a number of changes. 4 from the wild win over Fort Wayne on Wednesday that featured 10 men for both sides in the final 45 minutes. Most notably, the red card that was shown to Denis Kruchenkov in stoppage time in the first half. So Mikhail Gulin will sit in the number 9 spot. You have a change at right back as well. Jaheim Brown making his 9th start of the year now for AV Alta. Look at the Aumesh brothers. They feature at the top of the formation. Adam Aumesh and Elias Aumesh with Jerry Desdune in the middle of a 4-3-3 for Brian Claybin, looking for some aggressive, exciting play on the wings. Claybin was raving about Elias Aumesh, who has been banged up, and his athleticism, and he is going to be let loose tonight against this fortress that is One Knoxville. In the back for One Knoxville, going back to their starting 11, the captain, Jordan Skelton. He is not in the starting 11 tonight for One Knoxville. So no captain, no leading scorer. One Knoxville is wading into some previously unnavigated waters. Finn McRobb is going to start for Jordan Skelton. The Scot, part of the team of the week, week 17 and week 18. This is the 3rd meeting all time between One Knoxville and AV Alta. AV Alta in its 2nd season. A 3-1 win for One Knoxville last year, a 2-1 victory for One Knoxville the season ago. Those in July and September, respectively. And One Knoxville would cruise to the Players' Shield crown. One Knoxville would head on to the USL League One final. Victorious there. Meanwhile, AV Alta, the bottom fell out after that September matchup with One Knoxville. And they'll try and make things right tonight. Our referee, Drew Klemp. The whistle, and we get things going from Knoxville, Tennessee. It is One Knoxville SC, top of the table, and AV Alta FC, they sit 6th in USL League One. Glad you're with us here tonight, spending your evening with us. I'm Ken Levicka, and per usual, a strong crowd, an energetic crowd at Covenant Health Park, multi-use facility. Capacity just under 7,000. This is the baseball home of the Knoxville Smokies. They are the AA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. Now, One Knoxville, they are unbeaten in their last 6 in USL League One play. They have won 5 straight in USL League One. They are unbeaten in their last 8 all competitions. That includes 2 penalty kick victories in the USL Cup. But both One Knoxville and AV Alta have been eliminated from the USL Cup. They do not make the knockout stage. The 2 of the last 3 matches with AV Alta trying to play out of the back, and that was niftily handled by the goalkeeper, 26-year-old Denzel Smith, who's become an anchor for AV Alta. Now a turnover as Knoxville getting a little bit sloppy in the back, but it's cleared away from Trumbull, and it's retrieved by AV Alta. One Knoxville, 2 of the last 3 matches have needed 81st minute winners. At Boise, and then the wild Fort Wayne matchup on Wednesday where Abel Caputo off a deflection on a shot outside the box, Karam into the back of the net. Meanwhile for AV Alta, if you ask their manager, Brian Claybin, they played one of their best full 90s of the season. They've had a pretty strong year. 6 victories in their first 17. Only 4 losses on the year. But AV Alta suffered a 1-0 defeat. It was Rapopa Mensah for Chattanooga Red Wolves who scored in the 17th minute. And Chattanooga was able to hold off AV Alta despite the California visitors near 80% possession, had 8 corners, had 537 more passes, and had 24 shots. AV Alta looking to strike early. Good footwork by Desdoon. He sprays it back outside the box. It was handled by Adam Almesh for a second. One Knoxville sets up. It's very stout defense. Though during this unbeaten run, USL League One play, they have conceded 5 times. Unbeaten in 6, but 5 concessions. Almesh gives chase. He did not get there in time. The challenge came from Jaheim Brown. It already rolled out of play. It'll be a goal kick. 4-1 Knoxville under the tutelage of Ian Fuller. 37, 12, and 12 all competitions after an 8-year run as an assistant with Minnesota United of Major League Soccer. He came in and immediately the wins started piling up. Players Shield hoisters last year, the USL League One champions. The 2-1 win over Charlotte Independence in the quarterfinal, 1-0 over Naples in the semifinal, and the 2-0 triumph over Spokane to claim the club's first ever USL League One championship. Jerry Desdoon is down for a moment. The referee, Drew Klemp, goes to check on him. Tonight's match is brought to you by KUB Fiber. Stream faster with fiber. KUB Fiber. AV Alta scored 6 times in 7 away matches. 9 tallies in their 7 contests away. -3 goal differential. We discussed it in the pregame. And AV Alta is a different side at home in California where they're +7 than they are away from home. But again, the -3 goal differential and more specifically, the 8 points that they've been able to gain on the road. That got a little bit shaky in the back from AV Alta, but it's played on to Denzel Smith. The 8 points in the 7 matches away, that's tied for the 6th best mark in USL League One. So all things considered, it could be a whole lot more frustrating for Brian Claybin and company. AV Alta 2 victories, 3 losses, 2 draws. There is Brian Claybin. Long time youth development, MLS academies, high school. That's swiped away. Do we have our first set piece of the match? And it appears that we do. That did not stay outside the corner flag. Trudging over is Nick Rellerford for AV Alta, the Cal State Fullerton product. It is a throw-in, actually, so we do not have our first set piece of the night. Relaford will chuck this towards the midfield stripe. Hooked on to Alfredo Ortiz, the 23-year-old. Now Desdun, always active. The Haitian extremely potent, onto his right foot. Went for the back post, and it's headed, no issues, onto Johan Garabay. Right idea, and that delivery chunked just a bit by Desdun. One Knoxville coming into tonight, 10 victories, 2 defeats, 3 draws, 33 points in the table. That is number 1 in the league, one better than Charlotte Independence. AV Alta, 6 triumphs, 4 losses, 7 in the tie category. 25 points, 6th in the league. They are right behind Forward Madison and just ahead of Fort Wayne. AV Alta is tied for the USL League One lead with 3 red cards on the season. It's been a bit of a hurdle to have to traverse around this season, but ironically, it's one Knoxville facing the red card wrath tonight. 6 goals on the season, but not available is Denis Kruchenkov. That's pretty sloppy in the back from AV Alta, and they have to settle for a missile clearance across the end line, and we are going to have our first set piece of the evening. It will be a corner awarded to one Knoxville. Teddy Baker will handle it. Baker, the Englishman, in his first season with one Knoxville. Good pace on that, but it is headed out of trouble. One Knoxville will begin their attacking journey once again. Baker, high looping cross back post. It didn't find any target, and Kyle Linares has to retrieve. Well, the sunshine plays tricks on you based on the configuration of the stadium and this pitch within it. When you are in these summer late evening hours, the glare on this side of the field can be real distracting, and I think we saw it there off that delivery. That attempted cross is deflected out of play, and we'll have, for the second time in this sequence, a one Knoxville corner. But Denis Kruchenkov with that red that was shown right before halftime for one Knoxville in the 2-1 victory over Fort Wayne on Wednesday. That was after Javier Armas for Fort Wayne was shown a straight red in the 2nd minute of that match. So both teams played with 10 men, the remaining 45. It was Abel Caputo, the hero, with the game-winning goal in minute number 81 for the USL League One leaders. This is hooked back post. That was dangerous. Brown was tracking. And another corner is on the way. Linares was the intended target. Looking at that back post was AV Alta's Eric Ceja Gonzalez. Now we'll do this again. Set pieces galore here in the 12th minute. Neither team has a shot on target yet. And that is wide. Still don't have a shot on target. Mikael Gouling able to rise up, but it's wide of that far post. Mikael Gouling at the 9 tonight for one Knoxville, replacing Kruchenkov. But Gouling went to college much closer to where AV Alta calls home than he did here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Went to UC Santa Barbara with Mikel Goulian. This is his 12th start of 2026. Oh, this is laid into the box, and a last-moment desperate deflection to keep Denzel Smith, the goalkeeper, clean. But AV Alta, their own worst enemy right now, out of the back. It has not been crisp, and Jimmy Villalobos may have just saved a goal. You look at the problems along the touchline. And that was a point-blank look that Villalobos was able to get an ankle on. Some precarious defensive play right now for AV Alta, or at least play in the back. As trickles outside the area. AV Alta desperate to try and get the ball back as Desdoon tries to press. Just to attempt to get possession back. AV Alta in their 1-0 loss to Chattanooga Red Wolves, as we mentioned, had 80% possession. AV Alta wants to possess. They have not much in this first half. Flag is up, offside. Kyle Linares thought he was going to be able to traverse a bit closer to goal, but the flag was up. AV Alta over 60% possession per match. That's tops in USL League One. So there's perspective from a season standpoint. And a microcosm of that was what happened on Wednesday. But Brian Claiborne was really optimistic, real positive about what his team was able to do, the pressure they were able to put on Chattanooga Red Wolves consistently. A collision between two defenders for AV Alta. And one Knoxville asking questions again. That delivery's denied, but it's going to be the fourth corner of the opening 15 minutes for one Knoxville. This has been pretty lopsided so far. One Knoxville looks more like AV Alta in the attack. Possession, stacked on possession, stacked on possession. Baker stands over it. Baker hooks this to Denzel Smith, double punch. And it's going to be a one Knoxville throw-in. Denzel Smith, a native of Trinidad and Tobago, 6th in USL League One in saves. He has 41. He has 4 clean sheets on the year. Possession going to be handed to AV Alta. There are 3 teams that are tied for the league lead with 6 clean sheets. That's one back, more pressing from one Knoxville. And based on the last year and a half, you can guess one of them. And if before the season started, you were asked who's going to lead USL League One in clean sheets, you would say one Knoxville. If there was a team that you didn't even think was going to lead USL League One in clean sheets or be part of a 3-way tie at the midway point of the season, you would not have picked out AV Alta. But one Knoxville, Fort Wayne, and AV Alta are tied for the USL League One with 6 clean sheets. Tied for the USL League One top mark. So a bit unexpected from Brian Claiborne's side. Their aggressive attack tends to allow opposing attackers plenty of space to maneuver. AV Alta has been able to hang tough defensively. They are 7th in USL League One in goals allowed. They've conceded 19. They gave up 47 last year, so a marked improvement. 17 matches in for AV Alta. Baker, another corner. Denzel Smith fell into his own goal, and a foul is called. it a foul or a goal kick? Smith has his hands in the air, yelling at Drew Klemp, the referee. How is that not a foul? And how did that not make contact with anybody on that corner? Teddy Baker's been a busy corner taker here tonight. And AV Alta, for the first time in a long time, will possess in the attacking half, even if it's just a throw-in. AV Alta has yet to really grow into this match. Played on to Kaloyan Pilivanov. Maybe Alta in no hurry, trying to make smart decisions, trying to play out of the back. They have gifted some opportunities to one Knoxville here early on, and that long ball results in an AV Alta midfield throw-in. Ian Fuller, one Knoxville manager, thought that they would be able tonight to force AV Alta into some mistakes and hit them on the wings. That certainly is what one Knoxville has shown is the game plan. They have looked dangerous, but one Knoxville has yet to put a shot on target. And now AV Alta surging forward. Almesh lost the dribble. It'll be a goal kick. A disappointing end to what was a promising run by Ilias Almesh. Has one assist on the year. Ilias and his brother Adam Almesh together. Brian Klaben is hoping they can unlock some of the promise this attack features. AV Alta is the most free-flowing attack in USL League One. And there you see Adam. He has 6 goals this year. That leagues AV Alta. He has an assist as well. But Klaben was raving about Ilias Almesh when we talked this week, saying that he has the athleticism of a player who could see time in the top divisions in Europe. He's been nicked up. He's finally back and healthy. He made this trip with the AV Alta crew, and he is starting tonight. Long ball chases on Almesh. 1v1 with Chris Teo, and a foul against Almesh as he tugged the shirt of Chris Teo, the 25-year-old Rutgers product. Teo spent 2 years at NYC FC 2. MLS Next Pro, 4 goals, 2 assists, making appearance number 13 this season in his 13th start at that left back spot. One Knoxville hasn't lost a match since May 16th. AV Alta gives it right back to one Knoxville, and it's simply slotted inside the post. Teddy Baker had it fed right to his feet. Denzel Smith was frozen, and one Knoxville takes the lead in the 22nd minute. AV Alta's sloppiness in the back finally hurts him. For Baker, it's his 3rd goal of 2026. And here's your Bush's best replay. It just falls right to the feet of Teddy Baker. It was played back beautifully by John Murphy Jr. And man, Baker able to take his time and nestle it into the back of the net. Teddy Baker has 4 goal contributions in his last 4. He cannot stop making winning plays for One Knoxville. Looking to answer is AV Alta. It snuck through, but Almesh couldn't get control. Baker had a goal and an assist June 26th against Spokane. He had a goal, June 20th, I should say, against Spokane. He had a goal June 26th in the matchup against Boise, and then an assist against Fort Wayne midweek. And now tonight he has a goal 21 minutes in. What a stretch of play that Teddy Baker is on. One Knoxville was looking for more, swiped away, and AV Alta with Desdune will charge forward. Desdune on an Adam Almesh. Almesh step over, holds up play. Here is a trickling shot with a right foot by Osvaldo Lay. And Johan Garibay able to bring it right into his chest. Garibay 7th in USL League One, 39 saves. He has started every match. He has been an extremely dependable wall for Ian Fuller in his first year as the #1 keeper here at the defending champions. 6 clean sheets by himself this season. Almesh, good ball forward, the flag stayed down. Charging in on goal, Bahena wanted to cross to the middle, it's still loose. And a late run, a shot blocked across the end line. It'll be a corner for AV Alta. Jaheim Brown desperate defending and did enough. Cesar Bahena. There might have been a tug on the arm of Elias Almesh. The referee did not take a second look at it, and it'll be a set piece for AV Alta. But that's the first true pulse in the attack tonight for the California side. Jimmy Villalobos, the longtime USL League One veteran. He's going to slice this to the top of the box. Desdune didn't get a lot on it, but dangerously pinballing through the box, and Garibay had a beat on it. So Teddy Baker is our difference with his 3rd goal on the season on an assist from John Murphy. AV Alta guilty of a bit of ball watching on a long ball. And One Knoxville with a bit of precision passing opened up Baker for the 1-0 advantage. Long ball, flag stays down again. A chip, we are level! What control! What creativity! And what a response! Cesar Bahena! Only 5 minutes AV Alta needs to even the score line. The body control from Bahena as Garibay was charging towards him. And that is an absolute beauty. Could watch that Bush's best replay over and over and over and over again. Roll that beautiful beam footage over and over again. He timed his run perfectly. Now we have a scrum in the midfield. The foul is called by referee Drew Klemp, who hasn't had a ton to do tonight. Been a fairly clean match to this juncture. A collision outside the box. It'll be AV Alta to grab possession. Adam Almesh to Cesar Bahena. And AV Alta now 1-1 on the score line. That's now 6 goals conceded in the last 7 matches for one Knoxville. So still have the best mark in USL League One. Goals conceded like they did full season last year. But that is a goal accumulation that Ian Fuller not happy about it. He expressed it extremely openly and candidly this week. Did put a positive spin on it. Hey, we're not playing all that well. I'm not overly impressed defensively, but we're still winning, finding ways to win. But they get beat on a long ball here in the first half, just 5 minutes after breaking through. Desdoon, who's playing much deeper into the midfield now after starting to the top of the formation. AV Alta, they are winless in their last 4 USL League One. Is Almesh going to be able to catch up to this? He is. Plays it back, Desdoon. Desdoon got through 2 defenders. Desdoon denied by Garibay, but he still has possession. Now Almesh, that cross. It went off of the side of Stavros Arakostas, and Garibay able to touch it down to this natural surface, but AV Alta right back at it. Now one Knoxville, can they hit on the counter? They're attempting to, but the pass from Linares is a bit behind the mark, and AV Alta going to take a breather and grab possession back. Boys, the feel of this match changed. One Knoxville for the opening 20 minutes, just surging and surging and surging, snuffing out AV Alta. Baker found the goal, but since then it's been all AV Alta. They've been woken up. Arakostas feeds it to the right of the 6-yard box. There's contact and a goal kick. Good scrum down there between Alfredo Ortiz and Kyle Linares. Ortiz of AV Alta, Linares of one Knoxville. Alfredo Ortiz, left back for AV Alta, was the captain at Cal. And one Knoxville is really trying to slip up AV Alta with the visitors trying to play from the back. It has been a bit dicey at times, but they live to tell the tale here, and now AV Alta pushes into the defensive midfield. And they promptly cough it up. Back to Ortiz for a moment for AV Alta. He played for Leonard Griffin, the head man for the California Bears, who is an Antelope Valley native. AV Alta, the Antelope Valley's team. And a hometown boy done good. Coaching one of the brightest young soccer stars in the Antelope Valley, Alfredo Ortiz, back at the college level. One Knoxville now. They have 6 first-half home goals this season, but they've conceded 5 times in the opening half at home. One Knoxville as well, their 2 losses on the year have both come here at Covenant Health Park. They were the best home side in last year's championship season. Very difficult to come here and get any sort of result. Adam Almesh earns his team a corner. Last year, One Knoxville did not lose a single match at home. 11 wins and 4 draws, 37 home points in 15 matches. Just an impossibly imposing venue for visitors to come into. And only 4 teams got a result, and it was the bare minimum. This is punched away by Garibay, knocked to the ground, but he did enough. And then his defense helps him as they floated out of play on the far side. But this year for One Knoxville, as I said, both defeats on the year have come here in what were their nightmarish confines a year ago. One Knoxville 3rd in goals scored last season. That was chunked back by Eric Ceja Gonzalez, but it did trickle on to Denzel Smith. So 3rd most goals scored for One Knoxville in the championship season last year. Coming into tonight, One Knoxville is 2nd in the league with 28 goals, on pace to smash last year's goal production, which was 43 goals. They already have 28, and this is the first match of the second half of the season for One Knoxville. Throw in AV Alta. Well, since the 20th minute and since that Teddy Baker One Knoxville tally, this has very much been even footing between these 2 teams. Whistle and a warning, it looks like, being delivered. It's Alfredo Ortiz drawing the ire of Drew Klemp. Now permission given to Jaheim Brown for the throw-in. Caputo, the hero from the Fort Wayne fever dream from Wednesday. Tune into CBS Sports Network Wednesday, July 22nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, a Western Conference Championship showdown. Surging Lexington SC face battle-tested Oakland Roots SC, an on-field tussle for valuable points. Catch all the action on CBS Sports Network. That's July 22nd. Deflected cross. It's going to surge outside of the area. But right back on it is Jaheim Brown. Oh, that's a beautiful 1-2, but a better defensive play by Eric Ceja Gonzalez. He read it well. That was actually Adam Almesh making the sliding denial. Not bad for a forward. Oh, beautiful ball from John Murphy. A whipped in corner, and it trickled off the top netting. Denzel Smith wasn't going to be able to do anything about that. He looked on helplessly as it skipped along the nylon. Finn McRae making that late run. Don't forget to stick with us for the Realty Executives halftime show. Catch you up with what's happening in USL League One in this week number 20. Throw-in awarded to AV Alta. It clearly went off Desdoon of AV Alta. The protest from one Knoxville. Also look at highlights from this opening half. And look at highlights from midweek as well. Other USL League One action, including forward Madison in their cow kits. And just so I'm on the record, I love them. Almesh. Desdoon still tracking, and he's called for the foul. He steamrolled right over Caputo. Desdoon, I'm not quite sure what his argument for not having that whistle blown would be. Bush's best replay seems pretty cut and dry. Johan Garibay looking to put a sledgehammer right leg into this. The Gonzaga alum. He sends it 3/4 of the way down the pitch. And the whistle promptly blows and the foul is called. Quick restart AV Alta, and Drew Klemp says, nope, bring it back. This winless streak for AV Alta that has reached 4. 2 draws, 2 defeats. Comes on the heels of the best stretch for AV Alta of the season and tied for the best stretch of play in franchise history. 9 unbeaten for AV Alta. They had 6 victories, no defeats, 3 draws in that span, and now haven't been able to find 3 points in the last 4. They had 9 in a row unbeaten last season, were firmly perched in the playoff picture. This is taken away. Desdoon coughed it up. Linares has time to survey. Wanting to let it pray through. That was Stavros Arakostis. There was nobody on the other end. And Denzel Smith able to fall on it. But AV Alta last year had that 9 straight unbeaten. As I said, they were in great shape at the midway point of the season. Then they lose to one Knoxville and proceeded to win 1 match, the remaining 16 of the season. Their only victory in their final 16 came in the penultimate 29th match day. That was a 2-0 home triumph over Richmond Kickers. And that was it from a 3-point perspective in the last 16. And to make matters worse, to further the gun punch, AV Alta finished 1 point out of the final playoff spot. So Brian Claiborne hoping that for this collective, still key components from last year, a lesson learned. This is sent to the back post. This will roll harmlessly across the touchline. This is match number 18 on the year for AV Alta. So they are already into that tragic zone that saw them lose their season last year. Looking to reverse fortune, and Desdoon, good man to do it. Nice ball through! Just a bit too much on it. Bahena was looking for a second right between the center backs, but Garibay did well to keep Bahena from getting the touch. Cesar Bahena is dangerous here tonight in the white AV Alta shirt. Bahena was a San Diego Torero, won 4 straight WCC titles with USD. First teamer in 2024 in the league. Desdoon's played off the ball and hustled back to win it back. And Desdoon was fouled as he sits on the turf trying to stretch out what appears to be his left leg. Bush's best. Beautiful bean footage. John Murphy Jr., the guilty party. Tio and Ilias Almesh continuing their half-long 1v1 physical wrestling match. Rich pro wrestling history in these parts, Knoxville, Tennessee. Mid-Valley territory for those of you that partake. McLeod. Now Jaheim Brown directing traffic. Abel Caputo. One Knox trying to spread this AV Alta defense. We're about to learn our stoppage time. This opening 45, have to imagine it's not going to be particularly long. Linares, left-footed cross, floating near the penalty spot. Handled. A series of headed balls. One Knoxville back on it. Back heel attempt, denied. Still working Linares. Now driving forward into the box. That shot is blocked. The appeal for handball. The referee says play on. Here's Villalobos. Into the middle, that is a strong turn. Guess who? Bahena. And now a cutback from Bahena, putting it all on display. And now a dime, one hop pass to Desdoon. Desdoon charging in. Desdoon couldn't get it to his right foot. Bahena wanted to curl it, and it was into the seats. 2 minutes of additional time, 2 minutes of Zoom drain stoppage time, the official drainage partner of One Knoxville SC. Well done by Jaheim Brown, who has had a phenomenal opening half defensively for One Knoxville. He's had his hands full. We'll have a free kick to One Knoxville. As Kyle Linares took some contact, he's rubbing the back of his head. Now he's up. Final moments of this first half. A fascinating first half, where the visitors from AV Alta have given One Knoxville a lot. This is in on Smith. It's still loose in front of the goal, and somehow it stayed out of the net. There was a whole lot of traffic in front. Denzel Smith didn't think it was coming his direction, and then suddenly it was there. John Murphy opted not to get a touch on the ball, which he rued at the end of the play, his head in his hands in disbelief, but that was the reason. It almost snuck by Smith. Linares tried to feed it back into the front portion of goal, and that ended up wrapping up our first half. So some drama right before the final whistle of the opening 45. And it remains 1 Knoxville 1, AV Alta 1. Teddy Baker, the goal scorer for 1 Knoxville. Followed 5 minutes later by Cesar Bahena for AV Alta. We'll have your Realty Executives halftime show after this. Highlights, numbers, and a look around USL League One. 1-1 at the half. It's USL League One on ESPN+.
Extra. It changes the energy on the field and off. It changes the expectations. It changes the game. At Regions, we celebrate the extra that makes the SEC the definition of excellence, while our team goes the extra mile so your financial wins keep coming too. Extra changes everything. And Extra is our ordinary at Regions, official bank of the SEC.
It was definitely worth the wait. I jumped on it as soon as it was available.
Everybody's switching. I see the signs popping up all over the neighborhood.
Rock solid, super fast speeds down and up.
It's a huge upgrade.
Cost is always consistent.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
I still got it, and I still love it.
If it's in your area, you better get it. And if it's not, it'll soon be there, and you can get it then.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. They look like thousands, but sound like one. In their hands, a simple beat is transformed into a masterpiece. Commitment runs through their veins. Because to them, the bigger the family, the better the game. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
1-1, 1 Knoxville and AV Alta. Halftime here in Tennessee. This is week number 20 of the USL League One campaign. 1 Knoxville is at the midway point of the season. AV Alta just passed that halfway line. On Wednesday, it was Forward Madison and it was Richmond Kickers. This was all to the home side. Forward Madison in their utterly Wisconsin kits. Get it? They look like cows. Love those kits. And they were flying. It was a brace for Torre at the half-hour mark and then in stoppage time in the first half. Carmichael added a goal. Anor added a goal. A 4-0 whitewashing Forward Madison over Richmond Kickers. Then you go to Friday. This one had a bit more drama. Athletic Club Boise playing host to Portland Hearts of Pine. And look at the header. That allowed Portland Hearts of Pine to take the lead. But Athletic Club Boise, they would fight back. This chopped into the middle. Bodily able to connect with the header inside the post, and then 90 plus 10 at the death. Chaos in front, and Amang gives Athletic Club Boise a 2-1 victory in front of a raucous capacity crowd what a way to start the weekend. What a way to start this match. 1-1, 1 Knoxville. AV Alta. We'll have highlights, we'll have numbers, and it's all next. It's USL League One on ESPN+.
Played by Marcus Epps, and the header is in to give Lexington the lead. For goal and in. Welcome to Oakland.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
You ever just look at them and think, yeah, I'm doing all right.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
¡Espectacular! ¡Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino! ¡Hay de revancha, doctor! ¡Pero falta gol! ¡Estamos a esperar a Hugo! ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Súbete, Luis! ¡Llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Vas al norte! A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso. ¡Listo, vamos!
We've always been heads up about money, but sometimes life throws you a curve, like juggling college for our son and what it might take to help my dad if he needs it. He's always been there for us. Our region's Green Print plan helped us feel more prepared for whatever comes next. And Mike went the extra mile for us with great advice. We feel like we've got this.
Extra confidence from Green Print. Extra know-how from our people. Extra is our ordinary at Regions.
The Realty Executives halftime rolls on. 1 Knoxville and AV Alta knotted up a goal apiece. Here in the break, both teams are getting ready to come back out onto the pitch. And let's look at the upcoming schedule for the defending champions and the top of the table holders in USL League One. It's a derby coming up next weekend. 1 Knoxville at Chattanooga Red Wolves. That'll be ESPN+. In fact, the next 3 matches all ESPN+. A visit to Charlotte Independence. That might be a battle for first place in USL League One the following weekend. And then Sarasota Paradise come to Knoxville on August the 8th. That'll be a 7:30 p.m. kickoff time as well. AV Alta, they'll be back home next weekend after a 2-game road trip. They play Westchester SC. That'll be Eastern time, 11 o'clock. At Richmond Kickers, cross-country trip for AV Alta. That is the following weekend. That'll be a 7 o'clock start time. And then trip to the Sunshine State to play FC Naples. 7:30 start August 5th. All 3 of those matches, ESPN+ as well. Out-of-town scoreboard. They're in a weather delay in Omaha. Union Omaha and Westchester still yet to get going. Spokane at the break, leading Richmond Kickers 2-0. Chattanooga Red Wolves a 2-1 advantage over Charlotte Independence. That would be good news for 1 Knoxville, win or lose. A delay with the New York Cosmos and Corpus Christi as well. And at halftime, Fort Wayne 2, Greenville Triumph 0. That's a look at what else is happening on this Saturday in USL League One. Here in Knoxville, Covenant Health Park, it's been a good one. It's been a fascinating one. And there's still another half to go. 1 Knoxville, AV Alta, 1-1. It's USL League One on ESPN+.
I would never go back to my previous provider.
If I had this sooner, I could have eliminated a lot of frustrations.
I don't have to hear, Mom, the internet is not working.
If you don't have it, you'd be crazy not to switch.
Tired of dealing with the same drain problems again and again? Zoom Drain Bio helps stop backups before they start. This safe, natural probiotic treatment breaks down grease and waste. No harsh chemicals, no pipe damage, just cleaner drains and fewer surprises. With regular use, Zoom Drain Bio keeps your system flowing and extends the life of your Zoom Drain service. Zoom Drain Bio, a greener way to protect your pipes, your budget, and the planet.
You've heard all about the benefits of contrast therapy. Now it's time to experience it for yourself. Explore the deep relaxation of a sauna session, the thrill of a cold plunge, and simply take a little time to unwind. Book a standard 2-hour visit, and you can always add a massage. It's all designed for deep, effortless rest. It's time for something different. It's time for Sauna House.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. They look like thousands, but sound like one. In their hands, a simple beat is transformed into a masterpiece. Commitment runs through their veins. Because to them, the bigger the family, the better the game. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
I would never go back to my previous provider.
If I had this sooner, I could have eliminated a lot of frustrations.
I don't have to hear, Mom, the internet is not working.
If you don't have it, you'd be crazy not to switch.
Nearing the end of halftime, 1 Knoxville and AV Alta 1-1. We prepare for a second half of football on a muggy evening in Knoxville, Tennessee. Beautiful Knoxville. This header was put off the crossbar, just grazed the crossbar from Finn McRobb. 59% possession for AV Alta. That's no surprise. The top possession team in USL League One. Shots on target, 3-1 for the visitors as well. They put up more shots. 1 Knoxville, 7 corners. 5 of them came in the opening 20 minutes, I should say, of this match. And so the stat lines, really nothing shocking, and certainly suggestive of a match that sits 1-1. These two teams are in good shape right now at this juncture of the season. 1 Knoxville, this is match number 16. They are the leaders in USL League One. AV Alta, this is match number 18 for them. So 1 Knoxville has 2 matches in hand. AV Alta, one of just a few teams that has played that many matches. They sit 6th in the league, so they'd love to try and get back to racking up 3 points. They have not done it in their last 4 USL League One contests. Neither of these sides are continuing into the knockout stages of the USL Cup. So that's 1 less competition to worry about. And there's our whistle to get this second half going. And it is immediately blasted out of play by AV Alta, and they'll get their defense set. Covenant Health Park in Knoxville, Tennessee. What a beautiful facility. One of the several baseball diamonds turned soccer pitches that we see domestically. But they do a nice job with it. You can see the infield grass, or the grass on the dirt infield. It's not the most conducive of playing surfaces, but it is definitely commendable, the effort they make to put the grass down, not keep it the infield dirt. And genuinely and generally, opponents who come to this venue have positive things to say about the playing surface. AV Alta trying to start positively here in the second half. Ilias Almes had it poked away, still on the ball, and tried to nutmeg Tio, and he's called for the foul. Maybe Alta looking for its first victory over one Knoxville in try number 3. Osvaldo Lay, who had a quiet first half with a sneaky steal from behind. Maybe Alta going to try and surge forward from their own box. Floated on to Almesh. That's a good ball. Best passing team in the league is AV Alta. Both number of passes and accuracy, you saw it in full display there. Linares unable to get onto that before Eric Ceja Gonzalez swept it back to his keeper, Denzel Smith. You see on the far side to your right, dressed in black, Brian Claben. Claben named head coach late 2024. Had AV Alta in a conducive playoff situation a year ago before things fell apart. A unique style. He spent time at Barcelona Academy at the height of its powers in the mid-2010s, early 2010s. A lot of Argentine influence. It explains his style of attack. Meanwhile, Ian Fuller, longtime assistant, especially at the MLS level, in Minnesota United. And what a steady bunch one Knoxville is. This is championship standard, championship DNA throughout the roster. And they are the favorites to win it once again. Players' Shield and title won Knoxville last year. The 5th team in USL League One history to do the double. One Knoxville into tonight, only 4 leads at halftime all season in 15 matches. And so you can make it only 4 halftime leads in 16 matches this season. But that also suggests a really good second half team. That was a prodigious hooking distribution from the right arm of Denzel Smith. Make an Olympic shot putter proud. And that blasted hard off the face of Scott McLeod, who was the first goal scorer Wednesday in the 2-1 triumph over Fort Wayne. There are a lot of bodies hitting the ground, a lot of pinballing passes right now. Stavros Serakostas took the worst of that. And he's still down, and it looks like a right ankle issue. Let's look at our Bush's Best replay. Soccer season's here. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all of your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket of great seats. Serakostas is up. He is jogging. He appears to be able-bodied again. 1 assist this year for Serakostas. He's got some work to do to equal what he performed setting up goals in 2025. He had a team-high 7. Foul from behind. Ilias Almesh. So the last 2 whistles, the Almesh brothers have accounted for both fouls called within moments of one another. First it was Adam, now it's Ilias. Adam, by the way, the older one by 6 years. He's 26 years old. Ilias is 20. This is floated onto Denzel Smith. Not bothered much by that. Linares lays it off to Caputo. Now Lay able to claim it right back for AV Alta. And neither team has any room to maneuver. It is suffocating press on both ends. Nothing's getting through. Osvaldo Lay. A team high 20 interceptions going into tonight. The 23-year-old. There's something developing here for the visitors from California. Right foot shot blocked. We've seen shots blocked, passes blocked. That's really been the personality trait of the opening 7 minutes and change of this second half. Lay. A lot more touches already in this second half than we saw in the first 45. For the Panamanian. Destin. Another blocked shot. A box shot from McLeod. And the possession awarded to one Knoxville. Osvaldo Lay was on the U23 Panama International side. 2 different stints at Sporting San Miguelito. That's the first division of Panamanian football. Liga Panamania. He has a goal and 2 assists this season. He scored April 8th at Spokane. Garibay watches his goal kick. Sent into the dusk night here in Tennessee. Goulet. And that shot is blocked. My goodness. I mean, we're talking brick walls both sides. Players are sacrificing their bodies. This has become a grind, and you gotta love the effort. Meanwhile, Desdun tries to glide. Almesh. That cross, did it go off of a hand? The referee says no, but it's going to be a corner for AV Alta. Elias Almesh wins his side the set piece. I mean, on both sides, these players are going full vertical in front of passes and attempts that have a ton of pace on them. Both sides playing very desperately. This has been an extremely evenly matched contest tonight. As we get into the 56th minute and a 1-1 scoreline. Ken Levicki here with you from Knoxville, Tennessee. Short corner. Work to Ortiz. Right foot wide. Not a whole lot on that. It's hooked from about 30 yards out. One Knoxville not just down Denis Kruchenkov, who was shown red, 2 yellow cards against Fort Wayne on Wednesday. So no Kruchenkov tonight, team leader, 6 goals for One Knoxville. One Knox is also without Babacar Dieng. He has been plagued by a lingering issue. He was not available against Fort Wayne. He was not available in the USL Cup match prior. In fact, the last time that we saw Babacar Dieng take the pitch for One Knoxville, the man who scored a team-high 10 goals last season, was against Boise July the 2nd, came on as a substitute in the 61st minute And again, he's been MIA since. So one Knoxville is down 2 key attacking components. And we're going to have our first substitution of the night. And it comes from AV Alta. It is going to be Christian Ortiz into the match, the 24-year-old. Ortiz takes off Nick Rellerford at the right back spot. Christian Ortiz provides support along the back line, but also try and re-spark this AV Alta attack. This is second year Ortiz with AV Alta. Played his college ball at Oregon State, then LMU. Helped Loyola Marymount to the quarterfinals of the 2023 NCAA tournament. He's a product of the Barcelona Residency Academy here in the States. So some fresh legs for Brian Claben. You got to think that Ian Fuller is prepping his first substitution. Both sides in a deadlock, not only on the score line, but also trying to find a breakthrough here in this second half. Chances for both sides, but they haven't been able to really test either goalkeeper. A lot of block shots. Legs are getting heavy. Here's Chris Teo. Teo knocked to the ground from behind by Ilias Almesh. And no whistle. You hear the reaction from this loud Knoxville crowd. Teo probably had a bit of an argument there for a whistle. Meanwhile, AV Alta right back to work. You see Teo, and that's a forearm to the back. I'm not real sure how any of that was deemed legal. But karma hits AV Alta on a chase for the ball about 35 yards from Denzel Smith's goal, and it's going to be a one Knoxville free kick. Standing over it, Teddy Baker. He had our first goal tonight. He has goal contributions in each of the last 4. And he pokes this to the back post. It was laid off in front by Linares, but nobody there except an AV Alta clearance. Linares going aerial with the newly checked in Christian Ortiz. Ortiz may have tugged a bit at Linares' shirt. And Denzel Smith restarts play for the visitors from Lancaster, California. Strong defense by Finn McRobb, the ex-Indy 11 player. Well, Knoxville matriculating into the box. Cut back and a win back for the AV Alta defense and a foul. We are past the hour mark here at Covenant Health Park. Ken Levicka with you Saturday night, USL League One. Knoxville 1, AV Alta 1. First place, 1 Knoxville. 6th place, AV Alta. We had a feeling this could be competitive, this could be fun, and it has lived up to it. Bahena, the goal scorer for AV Alta, onto Desdoon. He sprints near the box. Almesh, and a corner. AV Alta set piece. 1 Knoxville, 2 of their last 3 matches, including Wednesday against Fort Wayne. They have found a goal in the 81st minute for all 3 points. One Knoxville has simply just found ways. They have won 5 straight. They're unbeaten in their last 6 in the league. They're unbeaten in their last 8 overall. AV Alta, meanwhile, they have been the ones who can't find a way to pick up all 3. They haven't won in their last 4 after being unbeaten in 9. Will the team be able to break through? Desdoon. This is into the middle! A diving stop and a whistle, and Garibay able to go low and keep it 1-1. There were options, there was lack of marking, and it was nearly 2-1. Desdoon, a delicious ball, and Villalobos couldn't plant it. Garibay equal to the challenge. And we play on. Villalobos, the consummate USL League One veteran, almost found his first goal of the season. Forward Madison, played with one Knoxville, Chattanooga Red Wolves, where he was part of the runner-up side in 2022. Now with AV Alta, Jimmy Villalobos has seen it all, done it all in USL League One. Desdoon a shot. That's smacked away. And one Knoxville after that errant pass will have the throw-in. Villalobos had the most goals in his career in a single season last year with 5 of them. His previous best before that was that 2022 season I mentioned with Chattanooga Red Wolves, where he collected 4. But Brian Claben said, despite the best career numbers, Villalobos did not give us what we needed. We told him it wasn't good enough. The plan was to get rid of him, to not have him as part of this AV Alta team in 2026. But they decided, for roster number purposes, to bring him into camp before the season. And Villalobos has been phenomenal, according to Brian Claben. Has done everything asked of him, has adopted the style and bought into the culture. A truly great redemption story for a veteran, a dependable veteran who put his ego aside and decided he was going to get it done for his team. Nico Rosamilia has entered as the opening one Knoxville substitution in the 65th minute. Stavros Zarakostas, his night is done. Rosamilia, the MVP of the USL League One final last year, that triumph over Spokane to win the title. He has not played much this season. He has had all sorts of ankle issues, Rosamilia. He didn't play until May 23rd when he made his debut. And then he played again May 29th. And now this is the first time that we're seeing him since May 29th. He was available against Fort Wayne, didn't come into the match, but he is in tonight in the 65th minute, 3rd appearance of the year for last year's USL League One final MVP, Nico Rosamilia. So it hasn't just been Denis Kruchenkov who's suspended tonight with his 6 goals, or Babacar Dieng with his 10 goals last year, who hasn't played in the last 2.5 weeks. There's also Nico Rosamilia, dependable in the attack, who hasn't been available almost the entire season, and now a dangerous area for an AV Alta free kick coming. Desdoon, Alfredo Ortiz, Cesar Bahena, they're all in the vicinity of this free kick. Johan Garibay trying to set up the wall in front of him. Desdoon, he scored 5 goals this season. Stands hands on hips, and delivers. And now he has 6 goals on the season. Jerry Desdoon, the free kick goal. 2-1, AV Alta off the set piece. We'll see if that took a deflection because Garibay was flat-footed. Yep, I believe it took a deflection. Couldn't quite identify who it was, but it looks like it could have been right off of that wall and deflected off ahead. No matter how it happened, AV Alta's not going to argue it. Jerry Desdoon makes it 2-1 AV Alta. Looking for what would be a famous road victory in franchise history. So 1 Knoxville, you have to imagine they're about to get desperate in the attack. This is rare air, having to come back from a deficit. It hasn't happened often this season or last season. And 1 Knoxville is just over 20 minutes away from suffering loss number 3 at home. And they did not take a defeat a single time here on home turf in the 2025 title season. Ortiz. Mahana has some room to operate. He surveys. Now he's going to cut back. Mahana into the middle channel. A bit hot on that pass, and somehow Desdoon is able to gain control. That return pass he wasn't expecting. He's favoring his wrist. Meanwhile, 1 Knoxville with Caputo back to trying to chop away in the attack. AV Alta shut out against Chattanooga Red Wolves on Wednesday. Conceded in the 17th and could not find a breakthrough. Here tonight against the top defense in USL League One. 2 goals for the Cali side. That's a bad giveaway. And Denzel Smith on that shot from distance. Able to keep Kyle Linares' opportunity out of the back of the net. Actually, I take that back. That was John Murphy with the attempt. Mikael Gouling wasn't thrilled with the decision from Murphy as he put his hands into the air and asked him, how come you didn't try to play it to me? So 1 Knoxville getting busy on the touchline now. Real Gill is going to come on for Teddy Baker, the goal scorer. Good night for Baker. And Conway is part of the double substitution. Eli Conway with Kyle Linares' night concluded. So 3 substitutions now for 1 Knoxville in this second half. Nico Rosamilia, Eli Conway, Real Gill, all on as we have crossed the threshold of the 70th minute. Jerry Desdoon's free kick goal is the difference right now. Watch the USL on ESPN2. July 25th, championship matchup. Teams battling for conference points. Detroit City FC to keep its top 4 standing in the East with a win over Las Vegas Lights FC club, fighting to stay in the hunt in the West. That's Saturday, July 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Sent to the top of the 6-yard area, headed away, but job not done. That is chunked by the recently entered Real Gil. He looked at his right foot as if something wasn't right there. May have got it caught in that thin grass layer on the infield dirt. There will be no big slate clean sheet tonight. This has been a wildly entertaining showdown and really a physical fist fight here in Knoxville. AV Alta not necessarily known for its physicality, for its attempt to rough up opponents, but they have gone toe-to-toe with One Knoxville, who is very much known to do that. That's clunky from Elias Almesh. And there is an urgency now with One Knoxville. Plenty of time to find a goal or two. If they find just one goal and pick up the point, the 5-game win streak comes to an end, but the USL League One unbeaten streak extends to 6. And the overall unbeaten streak will push to 9. But if this scoreline stays the same, goodbye winning streak, goodbye unbeaten streak, and goodbye winless streak for AV Alta. That's a good ball, but a heavy touch off the delivery from Tio. And Villalobos able to extinguish that, at least momentarily. Murphy turns, sent to the box, headed towards goal! Goulding got a right foot on it, but Villalobos got a foot to it as well at about the same time, and Denzel Smith comes to claim the loose ball. Also over to help was Pelivanov, and he might have taken a boot to his ankle. He was a bit hobbled, but now he's up. So Pelivanov and Villalobos, as well as Eric Ceja Gonzalez, both in the area, saving the day. Oh, this is to the middle, and it's 3! It's Almesh to Almesh! The brothers strike! Elias finds Adam, 3-1, AV Alta. It's a family affair. How do you love that? Almesh did a lot of work. And Adam Almesh sitting unmarked, unaccounted for, at the penalty spot. One touch, blast. Garibay never had a chance. How good does that have to feel? What a moment. And that'll be the maiden voyage for Adam Almesh on this Saturday, and what a way to go out. Having it put on a platter by his brother. Three to 1 AV Alta. And it is a stunned murmur here at Covenant Health Park. But one Knoxville has been the epitome of never say die. Smith, awkward double punch away. And AV Alta will strike it out towards that midfield stripe. Christian Ortiz doing the duties there. One Knoxville resets the attack. Brian Claben in the 1-0 loss to Chattanooga Red Wolves just 3 days ago said he wasn't all that upset with the defeat because he loved the way the defense had bought in, the effort. This side wants to play defense. They want to get rid of the reputation that you can just ding them over and over and over again when they're dispossessed. They have dug in tonight defensively, especially in this second half. And now they have about 13 more minutes left to do. Headed towards goal. Cleared away. Lay won it for AV Alta, and Desdoon will deliver it back into the one Knoxville half. One Knoxville reformulates. McRobb. Real Gill. Caputo distributes. Now it's worked to the far side. Gill. Gill, shot deflected! Denzel Smith read it. He set it up into the air and he claims it. That was a big hit from Real Gill. But it took a touch and it curled out of the 26-year-old goalkeeper. Bahena, Desdoon, Adam Almace, the goal scorers tonight for AV Alta. Now a chance. That was mishandled at the moment of truth by Eli Conway. And AV Alta once again ticks some time off the clock. One Knoxville trying to continue knocking on the door. This is headed up in the air. No one could really find it for AV Alta. It was finally controlled though. And it'll be Santiago Higuerda who substituted in for Adam Almace to take it out of the box, take it to the midfield. And then tackle Real Gill. Productive sequence there for Santiago Higuerda. Cesar Bahena in no particular hurry. Bahena got into some close quarters with Desdoon. Oh, look at that from Bahena! He had his shot. Sidewind off of the outside of his foot. More reinforcements coming for AV Alta. Lynham will take off Bahena. Trying to cycle through as many fresh legs as he can. Brian Claben trying to see this through. So Jalamuinam try and help the close it out cause. Meanwhile, one Knoxville goes back to work in the AV Alta half. And that's swiped away from Eli Conway. And Rosamilia hit the deck, and the fans react to no whistle. This is floated into the box, and it's headed right to Denzel Smith by Chris Teo. AV Alta probably has to feel a little bit fortunate. That was such a high ball that Teo had to adjust. Was a bit flat-footed. There was nobody around him. That's one back by one Knoxville. AV Alta still trying to press the envelope a bit on the attack. Not content to just park the bus England style. Well, that certainly was not the case in the World Cup third place game earlier today. England 6, France 4. Just an exhibition the way things turned out. Lay. Nifty ball, back heel right back to him, flag up offside. Well, Knoxville will send 2 more substitutes into the match. Perkins for Teo. Ian Fuller looking for any sort of option that'll help chip into this 2-goal deficit. This is sent back post and just wide. Mikhail Gulin was falling backwards, couldn't put it on target, but one Knoxville continuing to ask questions. Rosamilia saw Gulin making that run, just not quite on the same page. Just over 5 minutes away from full time. McRobb using his big frame, able to shield Aguirre from the ball. But AV Alta regains in the midfield. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, it's the player's choice. Throw in here to AV Alta. Well, one Knoxville still trying to find itself after the departures of Angelo Kelly Rosales, who now plays for Chattanooga Red Wolves. See him next weekend with one Knoxville. Also, Kempis Tequila, who's with Union Omaha. And Ian Fuller admitted, we chatted with him yesterday, that they're still trying to find a way to compensate for the lack of those talents in the overall attack. Chase is on far side, Lay able to get there for AV Alta. He'll hold up play. That's a good ball. And it is nearly a fourth. It was laid off, but chunked wide. That was close. Lay did well to pick out Ortiz. Meanwhile, one Knoxville wasting no time, and a corner is won. Took a little bit to identify the corner. It was Miguel Ibarra who put that attempt wide on the volley. Just came on for AV Alta. The fans trying to urge on the home side on this set piece. And it's headed over the goal by Finn McRobb. AV Alta has stood sturdy defensively. Can one Knoxville find one to make things nervy for AV Alta? It'll be a deep corner throw-in for one Knoxville. There's an ailing player on that far side. I believe that's Danny Fernandez, who's just moments into his match tonight after he took down Murphy. Falls to Gill! There's the second! Webb Knoxville has life! Rosamilia making the run! Deep into the box! After Gill found the ball on his right foot, back post! One Knoxville very much alive! One Knoxville kept pushing and prodding and asking questions, and they get an answer. Nico Rosamilia with his first goal of the season. Some late magic. Real Gill with his first assist of the year, and it comes at a very, very opportune time. Now AV Alta is going to have to hang on. Foul against one Knoxville. The way the match has been played, there was no way that it wasn't going to come with a soap opera in the final minutes. This is the only way it could end. One Knoxville has scored past the 80th minute, 3 of their last 4. They just don't die. They are footballing zombies. It's a corner for AV Alta. And that'll be delivered to Garibay for a goal kick. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157. It's North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk. That includes USL All Access Tuesday nights. Hear live matches from USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Deep attack in half, throw in, one Knoxville. AV Alta fully under siege. 5 additional minutes tacked on to the end of 90. A long throw in into the box. Headed out of the area. Caputo. Caputo's going to handle the throw-in after the ball rolled across the touchline. High, long ball, fed to the middle! And on the volley, not enough on it from Eli Conway. Chested it down perfectly, but lost his balance as he tried to swing the foot into it. Danny Fernandez put it into space, but Conway just not enough quality to test Denzel Smith. AV Alta would love to find some possession. Desperate to find some possession. We have 3 minutes remaining. AV Alta trying to hang on. Long clearance. Handled by McLeod, and now surging up the wing is Perkins. With Perkins, is Ortiz. Now Gill, who had the assist to make it 3-2. Gill. It looked like it was an attempted cross, but nobody there. And Smith will lay on the ball for a moment. High into the Knoxville night. And Garibay on a hop. USL Championship and League One on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all year long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golasso Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com, USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Christian Ortiz trying to retreat to the corner, trying to maintain possession, trying to draw a whistle, and concedes a throw-in. About a minute and a half left. Can one Knoxville find a way to keep the unbeaten streak alive? There's a long clearance. By the way, AV Alta, they'll head home to play Westchester Saturday, then fly to Richmond after that, then go to Naples, come back home to play Fort Wayne, go all the way to New York City, 15th of August, and then play Naples at home before going to Charlotte and coming back to play the same one Knoxville side. And that'll be September 5th. So over the next month and a half, AV Alta has to travel over 23,000 total miles. A grinding schedule, and they're trying to pick up a signature road win here tonight against the team that holds the lead in USL League One and still holds the USL League One title. Garibay tries to feed it back into the attacking half. We have mere moments left to play. This is hooked across the touchline. Gill, a dead sprint, picks the ball up, throws it in. Perhaps the final chance for one Knoxville. Gill, the cross! Still a live ball. There's contact in the box. The referee does not blow his whistle. And he blows the final whistle. Drew Klemp says the night is over. AV Alta has beat the defending champions on the road. AV Alta gets all 3 points. They end their 4-match winless streak. They end one Knoxville's 5 straight win streak in USL League One. And AV Alta has a season-defining road triumph. AV Alta 3, 1 Knoxville 2. The 2-game Tennessee trip ends in a split for the Lancaster, California guys. 1 Knoxville, meanwhile, their stretch of 8 unbeaten all competitions is over. And it's the 3rd home loss of the season for Ian Fuller's group. The man of the match is Teddy Baker for One Knoxville. He had the opening goal in the 22nd minute. The man of the match presented by Peaceful Side Brewery's Club Light, brewed in the peaceful side of the Smoky Mountains. A thriller tonight. One Knoxville was able to get the goal before the end of 90, but could not find the equalizer, and AV Alta goes all the way back home with 3 points for the first time in 5 tries. AV Alta 3, One Knoxville 2. And we'll have the post game when we come back. It's ESPN Plus coverage of USL League One.
Extra. It changes the energy on the field and off. It changes the expectations. It changes the game. At Regions, we celebrate the extra that makes the SEC the definition of excellence, while our team goes the extra mile so your financial wins keep coming too. Extra changes everything. And Extra is our ordinary at Regions, official bank of the SEC.
It was definitely worth the wait. I jumped on it as soon as it was available.
Everybody's switching. I see the signs popping up all over the neighborhood.
Rock solid, super fast speeds down and up.
It's a huge upgrade.
Cost is always consistent.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
I still got it, and I still love it.
If it's in your area, you better get it. And if it's not, it'll soon be there, and you can get it then.
To 2, AV Alta takes down One Knoxville, an eyebrow-raising result in USL League One. One Knoxville sat top of the table coming into tonight. They take their first defeat in their last 6 USL League One matches and 9 matches overall. AV Alta going back to California, feeling good about themselves. Let's go through our match highlights. 22nd minute. And One Knoxville on the board first. Some nifty passing off of a long ball. Johan Garibay, the goalkeeper, and able to find the back of the net. That was Teddy Baker, and it was 1-0 to the first place side in USL League One. But just 4 minutes later, Cesar Bahena on what was a wonderful ball from Adam Almesh, and put a pin in that name, by the way. Up over the top, Bahena gets behind the defense. Look at that finish. Cheeky and quality and full of skill. Touches it down with that right toe and finishes with that right toe, and it was 1-1. Then we get to the second half in the 67th minute. Jerry Desdoon, a free kick. It takes a deflection, and it tucks itself inside the post for Desdoon. That's his 6th goal of the season. That evened him up with Adam Almesh for the team lead. But then Adam Almesh would take the team lead right back in the 75th minute. This is the Bush's Beans play of the match. Ilias Almesh, little brother, splits 2 defenders, big brother, goal! The Almeshes make it a 3rd for AV Alta. It was 3-1 at that point, but as you'd expect, with a team as resilient and as stout as One Knoxville, they were not fazed because they would claw their way back. In the 89th minute, on a throw-in deep into the area, it falls to Real Gil. And he strikes it on Nico Rosamilia back from injury. And suddenly it's game on once again. 3-2. The deficit is just 1 now for One Knoxville. One Knoxville would continue to knock on the door, had opportunities in the 5 minutes of added time, but could not find the game-tying goal. AV Alta with the win. As we go into our full-time numbers, 5 shots on target for both sides and even 50% possession for both teams. 8 corners for One Knoxville, 5 for AV Alta, but look how even it all was, and we said so many times tonight, evenly matched. Even the numbers show that it was evenly matched. Hey, enter the Prinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Kids Sweepstakes, your chance to win a prize pack with up to $2,000. Scan the QR code, enter today. That's the Prinks Tires Sweepstakes. So AV Alta able to grab the win and end the 4 matches in a row winless. They went 0-2-2 in that stretch, and they find a way to pull themselves into the top 5 in USL League One now. And let's go ahead and look at these Prinks Tires standings. And you see, sitting there in 4th place, AV Alta. They now have 28 in the table. One Knoxville, Union Omaha, Charlotte Independence. The top 3, Athletic Club, Boise, Fort Wayne, Fort Madison, Spokane. That rounds out the above the playoff line sides in USL League One. Want to thank our entire staff here tonight for this presentation of USL League One, including executive producer Joshua Savalos. I'm Ken Levicki, your final scoreline for a final time from Covenant Health Park in Knoxville, Tennessee. AV Alta FC 3, One Knoxville SC 2. Thank you for watching. This has been USL League One on ESPN+. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.